Hey guys, welcome back to the Sanctuary. I think the main purpose for this video is to just encourage people who are bidding on vintage comics to really do your homework about particular books, because you never know a history of an issue or of a particular copy until you really delve into, for example, the sales archive on Heritage, eBay past sales, that sort of thing. So in this case, we have Superman number 12, 9.2 and 8.5. The 9.2 is on the census as the second highest graded copy. There's a single 9.4 that beats it. And then below that, there are two copies in 8.5. The thing that's troubling about these two images is that this is the same book. It's the exact same copy. So the 9.2 was graded in April of last year, 2022. It went up for auction at Heritage the next month in May, and it sold for $8,400. Very cool book, second highest graded. You might notice it has a dust shadow that's most obvious on the bottom right corner. It actually goes up the whole right side of the book, but it's most apparent in this bottom right hand corner there. So after someone won this book, they decided that maybe it could get bumped up to a 9.4 or maybe even a 9.6. Wanting to either match or beat that 9.4 that's currently on the census. So either they did some work to the book or they had someone else do some work to the book. But the very next month in June, the book was regraded as an 8.5. So the book does look slightly different. The dust shadow in the bottom right-hand corner is now gone. Well, from the whole right edge, it's gone. But it got downgraded. So not only did the grade get downgraded from 9.2 to 8.5, even the page quality went down from white to off-white to white, which gives you an idea about how sometimes CGC's grading can be a little arbitrary when it comes to page quality. So you want to be careful about that as well. So this is kind of a weird situation. You've got the second highest graded copy on the planet, at least certified, that was manipulated after it was won and does look better, but the grade went down to 8.5. So we've lost this 9.2, which is kind of a shame. And so now it shows, as I said, it shows the 9.4, it shows a 9.2 on the census, and then two 8.5s. Well, this 8.5 you see on the right is one of those two. But the 9.2 you see on the left, which is still on the census, no longer exists. It's gone. It has now become an 8.5. So to me, it's a little bit frustrating. I personally would not try to manipulate the second highest graded copy on the planet of Superman 12, but someone bought it. It's their book. They can certainly do with it as they please. But this is the sort of thing that I would want to be aware of if I were bidding on this book. Now, this 8.5, surprisingly, is again up for auction at Heritage, presumably put there by the person who bought the 9.2 and had the work done. And surprisingly, it did better. I don't know how that is. I didn't realize the market for Superman 12 had increased in a little more than a year, but an 8.5 sold this morning for $10,200 when the 9.2 sold last year for $8,400. So that's a pretty big jump. That's what, $1,900? $1,800. Now, unfortunately for the consigner, they still lost money because Heritage gets about 30% of that realized price. So they probably got back $7,140, something like that. So they're still out about $1,300 at the end of the day. So that's what's going on with this Superman 12. I don't know who did it. I don't really know why they did it. I guess they just wanted to go for that 9.4 and tie for highest graded. It's great that the book looks better, but the grade did not reflect that. If you're doubting that it's the same copy, I mean, it's easy to say, oh, Jeff, those aren't the same copies. They absolutely are. I don't know if I can zoom in a little bit here. But if you look in the logo, there's a white squiggly line right here. And there are two white dots here and here, and another white dot on the R right there. And then if you zoom in on the 8.5, you're going to see the same white squiggly line, the same two white dots on the E, the same white dot on the R. And if you also look at the grader's notes for each copy, they both show a light crease on the bottom right-hand corner of the cover. And of course, on this copy, the grader's notes mention the dust shadow. On this copy, the grader's notes do not mention the dust shadow. Strangely, on the 8.5, the grader's notes do now reflect tanning to the interior cover, which they do not mention on the 9.2 grader notes. It was certainly there. I mean, tanning didn't suddenly appear on the interior cover, but it wasn't mentioned on the 9.2 as it is now on the 8.5. So that's just a lesson to you to be careful. Make sure you research high-value books that you're bidding on, because you really want to know what you're getting. In this case, 8.5 may have formerly been a 9.2, which is in a way kind of cool. You're getting a beautiful book that unfortunately got downgraded because maybe someone was a tad greedy, maybe. But again, it's their book. They can do with it as they please. That's all I got, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Looking forward to your comments. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.